Okay, hello, we are back in Hungary for what will be one of the most interesting, and I'm going to use interesting for now, might use farcical later on, ever seen in Jackocar, and we've done over 200 races of this. We are about to do our second wildcard race of the season. It's round 8 of season 13. As you can see, it's a sunny day in Hungary, right? Sunny conditions. The first 12 laps of this race must be done on softs. The next 12 must be done on intermediates. The last 11 must be done on the wets. That's pretty unorthodox, but that is the wild card that Gareth has just decided for this race. In qualifying, if you saw the stream earlier on, we also had a very strange wild card for there, where essentially we had a target lap time that the drivers weren't, privy to. They knew it was between 1 minute 15 and 1 minute 25. The drivers set a qualifying lap, and the grid has been thoroughly mixed up because the target lap time ended up being 1 minute 20.214, something like that, which leaves Sullivan Lewis 217, which leaves Sullivan Lewis on pole ahead of Deck. The rest of the grid I couldn't tell you, but we'll find out in a moment. So we've got a mixed up grid, and we've got a mandatory two-stop with mandatory, laps to pit and mandatory tyres to choose. None of which are particularly useful for racing. Jacko, what on earth are we about to watch?
You know what? During my reign as Jackocar leader, I prided myself in the league on gimmicks, and we bought in gimmicks, we got rid of gimmicks. As time went on, we become used to them. This is totally different. Basically, you've explained qualifying, so the race, lap 12 on softs. I mean, dry tyres in dry weather makes a lot of sense, right? They're the soft tyres, they probably won't make it. Followed by the intermediates in dry conditions, they will be struggling, and then the full wets. With Sullivan Lewis and Deck Cornley on the front row, this is going to be quite insane. Something we've never seen before. I'm glad I'm not racing, you're glad you're not racing, and this is going to be bloody fantastic.
I just want to check as well.
Is that a good summary?
It's a good summary. I just wanted to check as well. We have no superchargers scheduled for tonight, which would have added an extra level of chaos to this, but there are no superchargers. Just wanted to make sure of that before we started, so don't have to worry about that. What Gareth is saying, which does make this slightly less treacherous, at least for the first stint anyway. Soft tyres cannot go 12 laps. They just can't. So what we're probably going to see are people pitting during these first 12 laps for more softs. You can run as many sets of softs as you like in the first 12 laps, but it just has to be softs. But I'm sure we'll see some people try and stretch it out and do the full 12 laps. If we get any safety cars, that'll help. But yeah, so there is still a little bit of strategy in these first 12 laps. After that, inters and wets, good luck, basically. Because it's going to stay sunny all the time. So I'd imagine the winning strategy today will either be a two-stop or a three-stop. That's all I can tell you. Here's the... Well, actually, say what you're going to say first, then I'll run through the grid.
Yeah, I was just going to say that...
Oh, Jake!
Is it going to be...
He's on mediums.
Oh, no.
Well, that's him in trouble.
Anyway,
That's him in trouble.
I was going to say, is it feasible that a driver may think to pit once, maybe twice during the first stint and get a double set of softs?
That's what I just said, yeah.
Oh, you have just said that. Oh, sorry, I definitely wasn't listening. Is that going to be the quicker way around, or do they string it out and hope for the best? And well, who knows? I
think we will see stops during this first stint, yeah. But someone will definitely try to stay out. Jake is now begging to Gareth to let him make an early pit stop. If I'm Gareth,
I don't agree with that.
Let him make the pit stop, but he's getting disqualified or something, because you cannot break the rule on this. Absolutely disgusting. Right, the grid, which was basically randomly generated. It's as good as a randomly generated grid. Sully on pole, ahead of Deck. Then it's Gareth in third, with Pete fourth, Ben Shaw in fifth, OKK sixth, Mike seventh, Chris Waits in eighth, The Cheat in ninth, and Baz at 10th. Leroy 11th, Dustin 12th, Jordan 13th, Jamie 14th, Johannes 15th, Tony, he's looking for his third back-to-back win this week, in 16th, Casper, the previous back-to-back winner, in 17th, and then Robin and Arnoud didn't even set times, I don't think. At least Arnoud definitely didn't in qualifying, that's why he's last. But yes, absolutely random grid. Jake's got his strategy all wrong. You mustn't ever touch mediums. I don't know how he's managed it. I don't know what he's doing to be sitting on medium combine tires. Maybe the default strategy is to start you on mediums and he forgot to change it. Maybe he had a setup with sauce there and he just forgot to select it. But either way, it's his own fault. We will see what Gareth decides to do about that. But third place on the grid for one of the league owners, fifth for the other league owner. Some will call it rigged, but this run to turn one will be absolutely fascinating because really there's no quick drivers at all of the traditional quick drivers, apart from Sully, in fairness, in the top sort of 14. I mean, it's a completely mental grid.
Do you know what, Owen? You say that the league owners are third and fifth, and who put them there? The old league owner.
Well, yeah, with my
this is
permission.
going to be exciting. Crack on! It's time to go racing.
Right, here we go then. We've got 5 red lights. Sully's pointing completely away from Deck. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing here in the Hungary, and it looks like a pretty decent start from most of them on the field. And Deck is straight away into the lead of the Jackocar race. Oh, and it's contact already as we see Mike Kelterborn losing half his front weight. He's come together with Mike. Well, I say he's come together. He's come together with Michael Akeke, and there's a few drivers falling down. I mean, Jake's now fallen to last, so I think he's trying his best to give himself a penalty, but, well, this is it. Everyone's on soft compound tyres. Did they go straight into tyre management mode? Did they try and just go for an early stop and make the gap back up?
Deck won't. Deck won't. I can assure you of that.
Oh, absolutely
He's going
not.
for glory.
Oh, and look at that. We've got cars all over the show. Ben Shaw there, throwing it up the inside oh, and there's a big accident in there. Tony's involved, I think, or has he just escaped it? We've got a VSC. Ben Shaw came together, I think, with Dustin, and then someone went into the side of him, so there's someone out there who's probably lost their front wing. VSC, it's Casper lost his front wing. He's the guy that got involved. What a chaotic start to this race.
Casper would be one of those guys who would definitely pit for an extra set of softs. So that's his day ruined. Or does it, because those softs are not going to go 11 laps, so does he try and hold on for 3 or 4 laps now before pitting?
Well,
and take the pain with a new front wing.
It would have helped if it was a full safety car, but it's only a VSC. Look at that for a restart! What a move! Sullivan Lewis down the inside of Deck into the final corner, completely caught him off guard, and he leads the first lap. But here comes Deck, straight back at him, and Gareth's all over the back of this too. Down the inside goes Deck. And massive amounts of space left by Sully, possibly too much, because Gareth Hall almost got through there. But I tell you what an aggressive restart. And he looks again towards turn 2. Oh, this is a classic already in the making, Jacko. What a race already. Baz up in there in 4th place. Jamie Griffiths in 5th. Pete Knight in 6th place. A lot of cars going wide through turn 2. We've got Mike Kelterman. We've got, Ben Shaw and his contact over Johannes as well. And how have they not all ended up out of the race as they climb up the hill? This is a complete mind melter already.
Going back to the leaders though, and you say it's going to be a classic, these 3 at the front, these 4, these 5, 6, 7 at the front are all thinking this is the kind of day they could win a race with the thrown up strategy and rules and gimmicks that they've been thrown or had thrown at them. It is Deck Cornley leading the way. He wouldn't have liked being caught out by Sullivan on the restart, but he has regained the lead and is hoping to lead another lap in Jackocar. I can't remember the last time he led a lap, but we all remember that one that he led in Australia. It didn't count. He rung his granny. He did not win that race. But he will lead lap 2 at the Hungary Ring.
Look at the train that Pete Knighton has got behind him. He is sitting 7 seconds. Oh, he's gone wide at the final corner, letting Tony go through. These lot are sitting 7 seconds behind the top 5, and Pete Knighton, I mean, it looks to me like a driver who's trying to save his tyres, but he's just let 3 cars come past him in the space of 1 corner and possibly 4. as Chris Waits goes up his inside. So we're seeing various different strategies going on out there as Jamie Griffiths up there into 4th place.
Ben Shaw and Arnold loose out of turn 1. I don't know if you caught it, but they're not the only ones that have been loose there already, and it's only lap 3. The soft tyres, normally by now, if you were doing a 50% race, you'd be thinking about coming in this lap or next. Fascinating.
Pete's going too slowly. I understand he's trying to save his tyres there, but he's going too slowly. At the pace that he's going, anyone who pits for new tyres will just straight up catch him and pass him. I mean, he might want to rethink this. As round the outside of Chris Waits goes Arnold de Groot. He's already climbed up 10 places from the start of this race. He's wasting absolutely no time whatsoever. And Ben Shaw in there, still struggling for pace, missing half of that front wing. Jake, you'll see, is now on soft. See, he pitted at the end of that first lap, and he's now got Casper behind him. Normally these two are used to fighting for the lead of races, but now look at where they are. Right at the back, and Sully, as you say, Jacko. Well, I thought he was going to say the lead, but
give it up.
Once again, Deck is going for it, and Sullivan is giving him as much space as humanly possible. Jamie Griffiths has now gotten up into 3rd place. He's ahead of Gareth Hall, the 2-time race winner. Catching up on another 2-time race winner. Chasing a man looking for his very first Jackocar win. And then also you've got Gareth Hall, and you've got Baza there, also 1-time winners. Or well, actually saying that, Gareth is also a 2-time winner, isn't he? I've got a lot of multi-race winners. Baza only has the 1, doesn't he? And then Tony's got loads.
1 in Cup Series. Tony has 8 as of last week. Johannes has 4. Arnold 22, maybe 23. OKK 2. Chris Waits 0. I think. Leroy 1 in Cup Series. Pete Knighton has 3. Mike Apple has 2.
Ryan goes. I thought he might have avoided it, but Sullivan Lewis has nosed it into the wall, and that promotes Jamie Griffiths up into 2nd place. And now Tony on the back of Sully. Will he be able to get past him? Yes, he will. Now, this is bad news, but a lap 4 pit stop maybe could turn into a happy accident, but he's not going to get in because Johannes has blocked the pit lane entry for him, and he's going to run round here, Sully.
So wide.
For a lap with no front wing on the car. And Tony can see the leaders. He's flying along out there. So what damage is that doing to his tyres? But he looks like he could well take lead this race relatively soon. Arnold de Grief chasing him as well, only got Johannes between those two. But we're seeing massive progress from Tony as he, like I say, looks for that 3rd win on the trot. Deck now has Jamie Griffiths to deal with, and these two have had history in the past. I mean, Deck's had history with everyone, but this is a fascinating battle for the lead, and it is going to be a battle. I don't think Jamie's going to sit back and let Deck control this. Here he goes up the inside.
Tell you what, Jamie looks more comfortable as well, doesn't he?
He does.
He looks in control of that car. Oh, Deck wide. Here comes Jamie Griffiths.
Just going so slow is Deck, and wide there goes Jamie. That'll be a track limits warning. And you can just see lurking in the background Tony on the back here of Baza, and up the inside of Baza, now up into 4th place. And Johannes will be all over this as well, and obviously Arnold too. Michael Akeke sitting there in 8th place ahead of Sully, who's fallen down to 9th on this lap. But back up at the front, DRS for Jamie Griffiths. You can see how much slower his lap time is, already 1.6 seconds down on his optimum pace, and they're not even halfway through this first stint yet. And remember, this is the normal stint, really. I mean, the next 2 after this are intermediates and full wets. As we lose Dustin, that'll be a safety car, and an easy chance for everyone to come into the pits. They'll all come in for softs,
what a shame.
And it'll be a mad dash to the end of lap 12, where surely they'll all come in. Some might not. Maybe I spoke too soon there.
I don't think they will. You're going to get some chances out there.
You'll get a couple of chances, but this all leads to that mandatory lap 12 pit stop, and you're going to see every single car definitely on lap 12. They have to pit. They've got no choice. And what will be interesting there is that obviously there's only 10 pit garages, which means 10 anywhere from 9 maybe to like 8 or 9 drivers will have to stack basically in the pits. And that'll cause problems as well. That could shake the order up, especially if we have a safety car on lap 12, for instance. So, yeah, interesting. Okay, who's going to pit then? Deck He won't actually, will he? He just
No,
won't.
Deck won't. And you know what? Gareth and Tony look like they're under control. The way they're driving, I'd almost, especially Gareth, say that they might well stay out. But here we go then. Deck is going to be the first one to come to the line. Will he dive to the right or stay out to the left? He is going to stay left, but Jamie Griffiths will pit.
Now this will shunt him down the field. Obviously, a safety car lasts about 3 laps, so they'll be going racing again, probably at the end of lap 8, and that'll give them, well, say start at lap 9 really is what I mean. So that'll give them 4 racing laps on soft. I don't know. I'm still with Jamie Griffiths here.
Jamie Griffiths on his own.
On his own, and will he beat Michael O'Keke out? This will be close. Down towards turn 1. If he could beat Michael O'Keke out, and he has, that's massive.
That's massive.
Jamie Griffiths is in a fantastic position here. If he can keep it clean. But the man leading this restart is going to be Deck, and we've seen this pace. He's quite slow out there. He's happy to control it. Pete Knighton, not Pete Knighton, definitely not Pete Knighton. Gareth Hall. Well,
so rude.
Gareth Hall will have to possibly get his elbows out here and make an overtake, because Tony now in 3rd place, he'll be feeling relatively comfortable where he is. Johannes in 4th, Arnold in 6th, but Jamie Griffiths on the back, brand new softs. We see it in normal situations how valuable new tyres are. They're even more so in this situation.
I'm just trying to get the stat up. Jamie Griffiths. Where are you on my list? Jamie Wright? I'm trying to tell you how many races it's been since he last won.
That'll be a long time. If you're approaching like 120 or something like that, it'll be a big number.
Assuming, I'll tell you what, you're so good at it. Assuming my numbers are correct, it's 127 races, which puts us back to, I believe it was season 7.
Surely
No,
it
it
was
wouldn't be
season 6, round
6.
5 in Silverstone, wasn't it? It was the famous battle with Michael
Wow.
O'Keke that went to the final chicane.
Round 5, spot on. It was race number 88. Jamie Griffiths was the 5th race winner from 5 races that season. In fact, it's the season... Oh no, it wasn't that season, because Casper Klein won his 2nd race the week later in Spain.
It was
that season.
That race was the night that the Queen died. Remember? We did a
Was
bloody.
it that? No, it couldn't have been. I was on holiday in Mallorca.
No, but it had to have been that night. Surely.
It couldn't have been. I was 100% on holiday.
Maybe we had a week off that week. Maybe it was the week after. It was the first race after the Queen's death. It was my first race in Salford, and then the Queen died. Then moved to Salford, and that was a Thursday, so it must have been the week after then.
I remember I was in a hotel room in Mallorca. I was asleep on the sofa with the balcony door slid open, the sun coming in off of the Mediterranean, and for some reason I fell asleep with the news on, which just doesn't happen, like on my phone. And I woke up, and old Lizzie had passed on. That was the news. I woke up to that. 100% away. I know we did a special broadcast, special graphic that day for.
We did.
One of the royals.
The royal, some would say.
The main royal, yeah. But yeah, Jamie Griffiths, 127 races there or thereabouts, I think it's correct. A safety car in this lap has put himself, I would say, in a race-winning position. Please, Jamie, if you're going to get to the lead, make sure you pit on lap 12.
Well, we are going to have 4 laps then. I mean, the ideal scenario here, I suppose everyone, is honestly for another safety car to come out at the end of this lap. But you don't always get what you want in this league, and this could be a very touchy few laps as they head around the final corner now. It's going to be Jackocar leading a restart in Jackocar, taking his time. He's got the restart procedure right, and there's been a crash in the background. That's Johannes losing his front wing on the back of Tony, I believe, as they race down towards turn 1, and Jamie Griffiths is already having a look towards the inside. Deck holds on to the lead. Johannes alongside Tony, and he might be a little bit frustrated with the contact that was made there on the way down towards turn 1. But here's Jamie, and look at the grip he's got. He's just got infinite grip. It must be. It must be like running grip hacks, honestly. As he moves up to 5th place, and he'll race up to the lead, no problem. I would have thought.
The thing is, Owen, they're all committed now. If they all pit, Jamie Griffith's going to have a huge lead. So he gets around Johannes on the outside. Go on, make it stick, make it stick, make it stick, Jamie Griffiths, come on! Into the chicane they come, he's going to hang around the outside, it becomes the inside. Not job done, Johannes goes off, Jamie Griffiths P4, welcome to Jackocar.
And the thing is there, you're right, this is why I was saying it would be ideal for these guys who'd stayed out to get another safety car, because that would negate all the advantage that Jamie Griffiths is currently enjoying. But as this lap goes on, we're not seeing that safety car come back out. And Jamie Griffiths is now ahead of Tony Kirkpatrick, and if that doesn't tell you how fast he is, nothing will. He is absolutely on a mission right now, and he's going to have a healthy lead as we head towards the end of lap 12. He's going to enjoy 3 more laps of this.
Wow!
Wow! Look at that. He's never passed so many cars in his life. This is a very unusual sort of situation for him. Genuinely, I'm not even trying to be funny. This is a very unusual situation.
The thing is, he just needs to be sensible with it, because he could easily throw it all away, especially against this man Jackocar, as they go side by side through turn 2. No contact this time, but Jamie Griffiths with the grip powers away through turn 3, and that is job done. He goes off, but he stays on.
I tell you what, Deck was completely sideways there through turn 3. I thought we were about to lose him from the race, but he kept it facing in the right direction. But it's Jamie Griffiths then, clear road ahead of him. He'll lead this race, and he'll lead it by some distance, let's say, by the time we get to the end of lap 12. Now, Sully is still running with no front wing. He could have pitted and put a new one on, but he's running last place, unless he's lost it again. But no, he hasn't been in the pits. He hasn't. So that's a bit of a mistake from the pole sitter then. He could easily have made his life a lot easier. Maybe he didn't realise you could pit. But he's going to be a long way behind in last place as a few more moves are happening.
I don't think any of them realised that they could pit. Jamie Griffiths is the only one that's read the rules there, or understood the rules. And look at him now, 2.5 second lead. And also, that's the 50th lap he's ever led in the Cup Series.
Here comes Gareth Hall, riding the outside of Deck. And will Deck be late on the brakes? Of course he will. Is it too late on the brakes? What about Tony Kirkpatrick? He's going to try and get involved. Arnaud de Grief's going to try and get involved, but none of them have any grip on their tyres. You can see them all squirming as they come out of turn 1. But right outside of turn 2, that's 3rd place for Tony Kirkpatrick once again. And here comes Arnaud as well, trying to follow his way through. And Tony up the hill outside of turn 4 against Jackocar. That's not going to work, surely. And it doesn't.
Arnaud's on the scene as well now. P4 all the way from P19 on lap 1. Here he is. And how's he getting on with his tyres? Well, he seems to be coping better than Jackocar, 2 cars ahead. Jamie Griffiths has checked out 4-second lead, and Tony Kirkpatrick, Owen, is getting very, very squirmy behind Deck. It's only a matter of time unless Deck does something absolutely horrendous.
And he's going to defend to the inside, is he? I thought he might have done, but I tell you what, Tony wasn't close enough. This suits Jamie Griffiths down to the ground. The longer that Deck can hold Tony back, the better, but I think Tony's up his inside now. Will he be shown the wall in the final corner? He nearly was, as Deck continues to defend, but he is going to face an absolute onslaught as he heads down towards turn 1 now. It could be 3 or 4 cars coming past as they all jink out, and somehow Deck's held the inside line there. I can't believe it. He's somehow held on the 2nd place.
Gareth wing damage.
Gareth's broken his front wing. Now we finally see Tony getting through, and almost certainly you'll see. Oh, up the inside! He spins, and he's going to collect Arnaud de Grief as well. And I tell you what, that was very aggressive stuff from Deck. Possibly too aggressive. But poor old Arnaud, who had nothing to do with that, getting turned around, and Tony finally up into 2nd place.
God, it's unbelievable. Let's just see, now that that's all calmed down, does Jamie Griffiths pit this lap? That's what we want to know. There is the only other battle I'm looking at, Casper and Pete fighting Deck, who is obviously the recent spinner. That'll annoy Casper, I can assure you. But does Jamie Griffiths, with his 6-second lead, does he remember to pit? Yellow flags.
Oh no, we've had Tony go off. No, he hasn't got a puncture, but he's done his tyres. Well, no help there. Saying that, of
Jamie
course,
pits.
they're all going to be pitting this up anyway, but that's just given Jamie even more of an advantage over the quote-unquote, I suppose, fastest driver out there. They're all going to race to the pit lane, as you say, and it looks like they're all following the rule.
He almost drove it into the barrier as well on the way in, Owen. I was like, that is not the time for mistakes, Jamie. But he has successfully made it in. Does he have the right tyres? He does. Intermediates go on. He will lead the race still as we come on to lap 13. This is fascinating.
Of course, the advantage these first few drivers get when they come in as well is that there's no stacking. You can see Ben Shaw there in the background having to stack. Michael Okeke is leaving the pit lane in second place. And that is not a drill. He's in second place. Ahead of Tony.
2 weeks in a row.
Ahead of Tony, ahead of Gareth. And, well, if you have ever wanted to know what it'll be like to see drivers racing on wet tyres on a dry track, this is what the rest of this race is going to look like. Because they're all out there, they're all on intermediates. The full wets are to come later on. And this is an absolute journey into the unknown. Jamie Griffiths leads this race by 11 seconds. And that is the advantage that he's earned through pitting under that safety car. Now he'll be hoping we don't get another safety car for the rest of this race, because that's a lead he needs to hold on to. Jamie Griffiths, who presumably is quite low down in the Cup Series standings. That might sound a bit rude for me to say that, but he currently finds himself in... Where is that? 16th place. Yeah. He's already used a supercharger. I think that was in Vegas. A win here obviously puts him straight into the playoffs. So that's what's at stake for him. But, I mean, Jacko, he's gone 3 seconds quicker on this lap than Michael Okeke, who's got Tony Kirkpatrick all over him. That lead just growing enormously, and Michael really struggling out there.
And Michael won't want to just give this up to Tony. I mean, he may well have to with the DRS, but Jamie Griffiths is very much making the most of this. Here goes Tony. Yellow flags fly. That's for a recovering Sullivan Lewis. That is our pole sitter. But through goes Tony as Okeke is about to be swamped. Here's Gareth and Johannes as well on that train. But 15-second lead for the Welshman.
And wide for Michael through turn 2. That'll lose him P3. He might stand a better chance as he fights against Gareth Hull, who has that front wing damage. So if he can hold on to P4, that'll be a very tidy result for him. 16 seconds, almost, the lead for Jamie Griffiths. I mean, he probably can't believe what's happening. He's not even used any of this ERS that he's got. I mean,
can you?
I mean, no one... no, is the answer to that. But everyone's got loads of ERS left. They've all got to start using it at some point. If Jamie was able to start, deploying there, he might be able to make an even bigger gap. Now, we don't know what a dry track does to intermediates, and we don't know how quickly these are going to wear out. Presumably quite quickly, and they're going to overheat like mad.
Yeah, all I was going to say is Jamie Griffiths is genuinely pulling away from Tony Kirkpatrick and Johannes Melisir. But yeah, you're right, Owen. These inters are going to be similar to the softs in a way, in that they won't hold on. The track temperature is high. Here goes Johannes, by the way, a move for P2 into turn 1. He is definitely more confident than Tony in this phase of the race. Tony, of course, with that spin in the previous stint. But yeah, Jamie Griffiths is a masterclass.
I mean, they are officially a softer compound, aren't they, intermediates? They have to be, otherwise they can't withstand the wet conditions. It's just the grooves in them which make them difficult. And the full wets, presumably softer still. So on a dry track, yeah, they really should be tearing them to pieces. This will really test out Codemasters tyre simulations. Just because, yeah, we just don't know what's going to happen. This wildcard showed up, out of nowhere. So I don't know if anyone's ever attempted to do a stint this long on intermediates on a dry track. This might be the first time you ever see anyone attempt this. And so we honestly don't know what's going to happen. As Deck, as you will have seen, has moved up back into the top 5. He's not finished yet. And Arno, that's a bit of a late move on Jordan. And Jordan's going to hold on there to P7. Ben Shaw was fighting away with Casper, by the way, as well. They've been making contact on towards turn 2. They may well still be at it to the coming laps. But yeah, Johanna's now starting to close the gap a little bit on Jamie. But yeah, Tony, at the moment, just genuinely struggling for pace. I wonder how many drivers as well possibly will have forgotten to put a setup on. Because obviously it's a new lobby from qualifying, so it's very easy just to forget your setup. But that could be
out again, by the way.
That could be what's affecting Tony, I wonder, because it is relatively unusual to see this lack of pace from the reigning champion. As,
we're not mad about it, though, are we?
No, of course not. But
back-to-back winner. Give someone else a go. Johannes hasn't won this season, and Jamie Griffiths hasn't won for about 3 years.
Indeed.
So we wouldn't mind either of them.
But yeah, that could be an element of this. People maybe with not the right setup on their car. It'd be interesting to find out what people have to say after the race. There'll certainly be some opinions. Just checking on Jackocar, by the way. Obviously, getting his tyre twist on at the start has left him at the back, and he's still in 15th place. He'll be absolutely hating this, because there could have been a result in this for him today. It's these sort of wacky races he tends to do quite well in, but yeah, just stuck in 15th behind Pete Knighton. And yeah, I mean, even riding on board, all logic would tell you that these tyres should be tearing themselves to bits. So, and I mean, Arnaud's rear left as I ride on board, it's at 100 degrees. That's ridiculously hot for a rear intermediate tyre. I mean, just not at all what these tyres should be doing. So will we start to see cars spinning off, making mistakes, as Arnaud up the inside of Gareth Hall, moves himself up into 6th place. Gareth will stay on the inside and eventually lose that place. But yeah, I mean, once the tyres overheat, surely they'll start to spin off and struggle and wear those tyres right down.
Oh yeah, they're going to be a bit like Hamilton's tyres from Turkey 2020. When he worn the inters and made them into softs. By the way, I don't know if you saw that, Arnaud thanking Gareth for letting him through at turn 3. Yellow flags. Nothing doing there. It is Rage Man, Robin Border. But yeah, I'm very much in the same boat as you, Owen. I'm waiting for the spinners to arise. Gap for the race lead, 14.5 seconds. So Johannes is eating into it, but not so fast to concern Mr. Griffiths just yet.
Shout out again to Michael Okeke, holding his own here in 4th place. It helps that he's got Deck behind him. I think possibly when Arnaud gets up to him, he might be able to get past, but looks like Michael's pace is relatively strong as down the inside goes Arnaud. That'll be contact again between these two. Deck and Arnaud, who obviously came together in a big way at turn 2 at the end of the first stint, and yeah, Arnaud making contact again on lap 18. That slows those pair down even more. It gives Michael a little bit more breathing space as we see a penalty for Gareth Hall. There's a few out there, but that's the first for anyone in the top 10.
Yep, Gareth Hall will be the first to tell you to not get stupid penalties. I'm going to assume that was a stupid penalty. Although, I've got to remember what you said to me at the start of the evening when you said you've got to be nice to him, so you can't join in with my bashing of the league owner.
I think it's his very unfortunate front wing damage, which will probably be doing him no favours whatsoever.
He strayed wide.
Yes, he strayed just a little bit wide. Very unlucky. But it is that front right end plate damage, I reckon, will be doing him no help on tyres that don't have much grip in the first place. I haven't actually been checking to see what lap times they're doing out there, as we see Deck around the final corner in a 1 minute 26.1. I mean, it is pretty slow. 4.5 seconds off his fastest lap, so not as slow as I was thinking they'd be, actually, but still not fast. As Arnaud gets shoved right wide on the exit of turn 1. And is he going to brave it up the inside, or is Deck going to defend? Of course Deck's going to defend. That might work out for Arnaud, though, who will opened himself up for turn 3 and thrown up the inside, and they make a contact. Wide goes Deck, who's got a hold position, and he'll stick it up the inside of turn 4 as well, surely. But Arnaud ahead into 5th place. My goodness.
This is why we employ Deck. Fantastic to bring us that entertainment like he does. Good to see.
Absolutely
fair enough in the end. Arnaud de Grief, the season 11 champion, finally getting through as he sets his sights then on Michael Okeke. Michael Okeke, by the way, if you're wondering, how long has it been? 167 races since he last won. I think I'm going to have to redo this table actually, because I think a few of the names are wrong. But it's around 167 for Mr. Okeke.
Haven't actually mentioned Pete's number. What's Pete's number? It must be about 200 and big. 208. I guess.
207, but it will be 208 after tonight.
Jake O'Sullivan's had a moment in the penultimate corner. Doesn't look like he has any damage, but he's lost some ground. And Deck's at it again. Defending this time from Gareth Hall. Oh, look at how he moves across the track there. It's all perfectly legal as we have contact, and Gareth's around, and Ben Shaw's around. The league owners have come together. And look at that as Leroy Hasselager comes through. Is he going to get another 10-second penalty for overtaking on the yellow flags? I think that's why he's slowing down. He got one last time. He's not going to do it again on this occasion. But yeah, well, Deck calls in a bit of chaos again. But I think who was it that what's his face Gareth actually hit? It wasn't. I don't remember actually. It wasn't Deck again, was it? That he actually hit. But anyway, he ended it round. And yeah,
not too sure.
Collecting Ben Shaw in the process. Well then, we've certainly had our fair share of drama, but luckily for Jamie Griffiths, no further safety cars. We are just 3 laps away from the switch to the full wets, and everyone's tyres appear to still be working. I mean, I'm riding on board with Jamie Griffiths, and that rear left, my eyesight's not great, but that reads 114 degrees. That rear left is screaming for mercy, but the car is still going in the right direction.
Oh, Deck trying to go back up the inside of Casper in turn 1. He somehow slowed it down, Owen. Sorry to interrupt. It was kind of very, very touchy. Casper knew he had to make the move, and he did. But yeah, Deck let him know that he had just made the move. That's for sure. As you were saying, tyres are hot, tyres are screaming. Jamie Griffiths, however, still leading the way. However, that gap has come down from 16.5 seconds to 12. However, at this rate, I would say he has enough in him.
He does, yeah. As it stands, everything's going according to plan. He's just got to remember to be in the pits at the end of lap 24. Like I say, we're coming up to it soon. But, you know, we're well more than halfway into the race, and everyone's behaving themselves, which means we're getting no opportunities for safety cars. Trust me, Jimmy will be there praying, basically, that none of these safety cars come to pass. We've had a VSC, we had a full safety, so there's still 3 safety slots to be used up. It's just whether they're coming up. I mean, that car is looking very much like a... not quite undrivable yet, but Jamie's struggling now. You can see it.
Arnaud's up to Okeke, by the way. Into turn 1 they go. Okeke defends, puts him offline. Arnaud then to the inside. This should be job done by the time they get to the exit at turn 2. Okeke sticking with it for the moment, as he did have better traction. Contact is made, and it won't be done by the end of turn 2. Okeke saying, welcome to Jackocar, to Arnaud de Grief. Love that.
We've had a yellow flag ahead of Jamie Griffiths, and that is for Robin, who will have slowed Jamie down a little bit there. Jamie, who will have been slightly terrified, coming up to the back of the mound. He's not a lap down in this race, not having a good time at all, is Robin. What is Jamie Griffiths' lap time looking like now? Well, it'll still be a sort of a mid 1 minute 20s, won't it? But it's just useful to see how he's doing compared to his soft tyre laps. 5 seconds, 5.5 seconds off them.
Something we've not considered yet is when Jamie goes on to the full wets, he will have a brief advantage of fresh rubber. So he may well be able to extend his lead back up to above 10 seconds again.
It will be interesting to see how that works, because again, it'll be fresh, full wets, which may well be horrible for the first few corners anyway, but as you say, everyone's going to have to deal with that. He did well on the last change of tyres, didn't he? He made, what, 3 seconds in one lap, as here it goes. Arnaud riding the outside of OKK, and we've got, who's that, Casper on the inside. But Michael Okeke, holding his own, he's held position as he goes round turn 2. What about now on the exit of 2 and into 3? Okeke possibly struggles now up the hill, but Arnaud's not brave enough to go for the move. And Michael Okeke, for yet another lap, he's held on to 4th place. Oh
no.
We've lost Robin, and that's a full safety car. And the whole field will get to pack up. And they'll all have a safety car pit stop to make, which means we're going to get some stacking again. So we could see this order mixed up, because for lap 24, which we're going to go on to now, Jamie Griffiths will catch the safety car. They'll all start to sort of stack up. So this will be fascinating.
Well,
Bad news for Jamie, this, of course, but I mean, it opens us up for everyone else.
Let's make sure nobody pits this lap and puts the full wets on already, because that would then be in breach of the rules that were made up 5 seconds before the lobby readied up. It is sad news for Jamie, and it's the end of our enjoyment that we're going to get out of it. However, I think the race needed a safety car.
I agree with
to bring
that.
everybody back together. Yeah,
but I mean,
you never know. Jamie could hold on.
Having seen his pace,
he's led for over 10 laps already.
Yeah, his pace has been good. So it's not going to be easy for the likes of Johannes and certainly for Tony to get past. And again, it's going to be a restart on full wets on a bone dry track. I mean, it's going to be very unusual. I'd rather be the leading car, not having to deal with anyone making mistakes ahead of me. Because that run to turn 1 is going to be really difficult.
And by the way, everybody has stayed out, so there'll be no cheaters this time around. 17 cars to go to the lap.
Looks like not much stacking up though going on, which might make the pit lane a little bit more manageable, but we'll see. I don't know if any of the top 3 need to stack with each other. They'll all certainly be in. And
if I was Jamie, I'd have slowed them down a little bit more just to try and get that 2nd and 3rd pack all together. Jamie's left the session.
No! Wow! Of all the times for that to happen as well. He was moments away from entering the pit lane, and Jamie Griffith's dreams have come absolutely crashing down. What that does mean, though, rather selfishly, is that Michael Okeke has now played himself into a podium position. Which, you know, let's take the positives here. In fact,
let's take the positives.
You know, yeah. 3rd place. That's where he'll restart this race from, because hopefully Jimmy can get back and he'll make his pit stop when he comes back. It's not his fault, but he won't retain the lead when he makes this pit stop. As long as he gets back during the safety car, it's not a complete disaster. But I mean, I'd say he needs to get back this lap, really, to stay in the podium fight.
Pardon me, I do apologise. Absolutely, spot on, Mr. Wyatt. I'm just going to send him an invite, just in case he needs one. But yeah, heartbreak. And then we end up with Johannes and Tony. Oh, boring. I hope they fight properly.
Yeah, it is a bit boring, isn't it? But
yeah.
Well, do you know what? That also promotes Deck up to 5th. Gets him back in the fight. I mean, if we have any issues for Casper, I mean, Casper's going to be sandwiched by Michael Okeke and Deck accordingly. I mean, that's not where I'd want to be for any point in a race. So, certainly the fight for 3rd place is still very exciting. But yeah, I'm not pretending it's not quite heartbreaking to see what happened here to Jimmy. I mean, what could be worse is if his AI now does pit and puts dry tyres on.
Yeah. He'd have to do what Jake did at lap 1 and just put yourself to the back and then pit.
Luckily,
AI will not pit.
Yeah, luckily the AI will not pit, but you can see that the field are now stacking together, and yeah, all of a sudden, what was looking like a potential win is going to be a race struggling to finish in the top 10, and there's absolutely nothing Jamie can do about it.
So who does win this race?
Pretty desperate stuff. I mean, Johannes has had the measure over Tony. He'll have a good run towards turn 1. I would be pretty confident to say that Johannes will win this race, but I mean, he's not won for a while, has he? So we'll wait and see.
Johannes has not won for 16 races as Jamie Griffiths joins.
Jamie, who said his PlayStation overheated, that's why he...
No, that's a sweat.
Wow.
That's sweat, that's not overheating.
Well, Gareth also just put another voice note in. Shall we have a wee listen? This was about 5 minutes ago.
Before you do, if Johannes were to win this race, it would be the same round in which he won his last race last season, which was at Belgium. Race 200 in the Cup Series.
Right, let's hear what Gareth had to say about 5 minutes ago, presumably when the safety car was called.
Obviously, Jake was slightly different because he will get a penalty for starting on the wrong tyres. And everyone else that's pitted in the non-mandatory will also receive a 30-second time penalty. So I think it was Jamie and Casper will take a 30-second time penalty for pitting during the non-mandatory pit windows. Because you can't just pit onto brown softs and just overtake everyone. That wasn't the point of it. It is, as Ben said, mandatory stuff for everyone on lap 12 from the start. So Jamie can have that gap at the front all he wants. He's going to receive a 30-second time penalty, and equally I think Casper, who had damage. So yeah, it's all to race for.
Well then, we got
that wrong.
That clears a few things up. Well, there you go. Divine Intervention has done Jamie's racing anyway, but he was going to get a penalty. Johannes does lead into turn 1, but look at Michael Okeke right on the outside of Tony. He really fancied that for a second, but he's going to lose third place to Casper. But I tell you what, Tony, he must be running around there with no setup. That's what it looks like is going on there to me. But throughout the mid-pack, we've got a bit of racing and a bit of contact as well. Jake's been into the side there of Chris Waits, and that's allowed Arnaud, who lost a little bit of ground with that safety car, to get past. But yeah, basically what that means is that you did have to do 12 laps straight. That's not what the rules look like to me, but okay. Well, I'm glad we
both
played that message.
That wrong then.
Yeah. Well, do you know what? I'm glad I got clarified.
For Jamie. My argument for Jamie is that wouldn't be clear because he did what we were thinking. So you and I would have both been penalised in that event, Mr. Wyatt.
Yes.
But never mind.
Oh well.
Everything we've just said for the last 40 minutes, ignore. We now have a race. Johannes leads from Tony and Casper. It's almost like nothing ever happened.
I mean, it's like... Obviously, apart from the fact that everyone's around on full wet tyres, but running around similar pace to the intermediate tyres. But, yeah, essentially what that means is that Jimmy was going to get a penalty anyway, and Casper... I mean, Casper was mentioned, wasn't he? He could get one.
Yeah, but I'm not sure Casper actually pitted.
I think he did, because he got damage at the start, which would mean... Excitingly, we're watching a battle for the podium here between Michael Okeke, Deck... Ben Shaw, Jordan Arnaud, Chris Waits. I mean, they're all in this. This is
and Jake.
Yeah, and as we see Casper get ahead of Tony into second place. I mean, is this going to be yet another?
Oh my god! Ben Shaw sideways somehow holds it. He stays behind. He actually loses out to Jordan. Incredible stuff, but he threw it around the outside of Decker Corney in turn 4, and it didn't stick. But he held on somehow.
Is this going to be yet another new way for Casper to lose a Jackocar race. In fact, we can confirm it now by checking how many stops he's made. And there it is on screen. 3 stops for him, 3 stops for Jake, 3 stops for Jamie. They'll all get a 30-second penalty, as per Gareth Hall's comments earlier. So, well, there you go. So Casper, if he takes the lead here, which it looks like he's going to do at some point, he will eventually lose the race. So he's not a factor. So Michael Akeke will be hoping and praying that Deck defends for his life, because it will protect us